Greetings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I am super grateful to have you. And if you are returning, y'all the real MVP, you already know. So I just wanted to do a little update for you guys because I just realized it's been quite a few weeks since I got around to making a video. So I did tell you guys this a while back that if you really want to keep up with me on a regular basis, TikTok is the best place to do that. Just because it's so much easier to do little minute-long, 3-minute-long videos or things, whatever. But it's 1,000 degrees outside right now, so I'm sorry. I don't want to do makeup. I know I'm shiny. I have all the windows and the fan open. Everything. It's a hot mess right now, but for those of you guys that just kind of want to know what's going on with me, I just want to give you a little update. So this is going to be kind of a shadow work and shop update. Okay, so first is going to be shadow work. So for those of you guys who have been following me with the shadow work series, that's what we're going to talk about first, and then just a couple shop updates after that. Okay, so for those of you guys who are not super close to me, who don't talk to me outside of socials, I know you guys wouldn't know this because I didn't tell anybody this. It's been really difficult to deal with, but we had a family member pass on my dad's side of the family, and those of you guys who know that, who have been doing the shadow work series with me know I'm not very close to my dad, and because of that I'm not very close to his family. So having to deal with the passing in his family has been a lot for me because I suddenly have to deal with a lot of people that I haven't dealt with in about 10 years, and it's kicked up a lot of trauma, a lot of anxiety and flashbacks and PTSD, and a lot has been going on with me. So that's why I kind of got real quiet. I had to take it really easy for a little bit because just to keep my normal everyday sanity. I did get really depressed there for a little while, and I think my mom kind of noticed because she started helping out, taking the baby, keeping her busy and feeding her and stuff like that for a little while. And then we took a trip to Disneyland. So it's not like I couldn't function normally every day. I just was in bed a lot and I was sleeping a lot. I wasn't eating, and it got to the point where I was kind of a zombie, just taking care of my daughter's needs, like changing her and, brushing her teeth and feeding her and things like that. I didn't really have the extra energy to play with her or really even feed myself or, take care of myself at that point. And this was a couple of weeks ago. So, I feel like talking about it, talking through it, and getting all of these feelings out and readdressing all of these things that I didn't get to address about my dad and his family a while back. I had just kind of put them, in the back of my mind and thought that I was, done with it. And, of course, things like that come back up. It's for you to heal and work through. So, when we went on that Disneyland trip, it was just kind of for the weekend. It was 3 days. It was 2 days, 3 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights, my bad. And it really helped me a lot to get away from my house, to be forced to walk around. As miserable as I was, it was really bad. It was really painful. I have fibromyalgia, so chronic pain. It was really hard on my body to be walking around that park nonstop from, park open to park close. But it was definitely worth it to get away from my house, to get away from my bed, to, get away from my routine, and to be able to not deal with myself for a little while, if that makes sense. My brain started going on task-focused things like which ride were we going to go on, or, getting food or things like that. Just little tasks here and there kind of kept my brain busy, and, playing Pokemon and things like that, taking pictures with my daughter. And the longer that I was there, the more I started to really loosen up, and it helped me a lot to, realize I need to put myself in a genuinely happy spot, whether I feel it or not. 'Cause, I've been to Disneyland like 1,000 times. I could probably never go again a day in my life and be fine and not miss it at all. But you know, I realize it's my daughter's first time to Disneyland, and we have pictures, and I can't be miserable in her pictures, and I can't, you know, make that her memory and make that her experience. So it did help me a lot to get outside of myself, to genuinely you know, reach back into my inner child self and have fun with Disneyland, and have fun with her at Disneyland, and show her how fun all of these little things could be. And it really helped me, you know, break up that monotony and all of those feelings and everything, and just kind of not worry for a little bit. It also helps a whole lot that I have met this fantastic person who has really been helping me through this a lot, because they are also going through something similar with, you know, therapy and mental health and stuff like that, and they have been helping me a whole lot through this whole process. And it's been so life-changing to have somebody who understands what I'm going through, who is going through it beside me at the same pace, and who can walk with me through it and help me feel like I'm not crazy, and, you know, point out things that I didn't know about myself, about my mental illnesses and things like that. And this person sent me this book, which helped them a whole lot in their therapy practice. It is helping me a whole lot. I have read through quite a good couple of chunks of it, and you know, it has a lot of little tools for helping with like crisis situations and things like that. And this dude, Pete Walker, you can actually find a lot of like tips about all of this stuff from his website as well. He does have a lot of free resources. I think it's like petewalker.com or something like that. So if any of you guys are dealing with, you know, PTSD or complex PTSD, this has been a huge lifesaver, just because I haven't been to a therapist since I was in college, like, just, you know, because of health insurance reasons and moving around so much. I haven't been able to get a new therapist to continue the work that I was doing on, you know, my inner child work and healing my abuse and my trauma and things like that. And I've kind of become calloused to the things that I didn't realize still I needed to work through. So this has helped a lot, because it's, you know, from a therapist point of view, or physician or something, he's something. And it's helped a whole lot. So it helps a lot to have a friend who genuinely understands, from my point of view, what it is I'm going through, right there beside me through this whole process. Like, I can't even tell you guys how much that's helped, because I've never had a friend like that in my entire life that has been going through the same thing I've been going through, on the same journey at the same time, from almost the same perspective. So it's just been such a huge blessing. I have noticed I've kind of taken a break from like tarot and my spirit work and my, you know, my deity worship and things like that, just because I really needed to focus on what was going on here for the moment. So I have started writing again, and for those of you guys who know me, like, I'm a writer, and that's what I've been doing since I was very little. And it's just one of the first things I ever knew about myself, that I was a writer in my heart, in my soul, and I wanted to go into teaching writing, you know, when I was younger, and that's what I went to college for. And not writing really sucks. It really hurts my heart. And there's a quote I have in one of my notebooks. I don't even know who said it, I apologize, but it says, a non-writing writer is a monster courting insanity. And that goes through my mind often when I'm not writing and I feel like I should be writing. So now that I felt like I was having all of this trauma and all of these things come up, you know, I felt like a lot of things were boiling to the surface. I felt like I should have been writing, but I did have a lot of like trauma surrounding writing, and I didn't even realize it, because when I was a teenager, my parents used to go through my room and they would go through my stuff, you know, as a lot of us had to deal with. Our parents would go through our stuff and read our things, but my parents were very extra about it. They would throw all of that stuff back in my face, and I just didn't feel safe to write anymore. And I felt like I had to hide my writing. So I went through extreme measures when I was younger to hide my writing, where my therapist told me to get a lockbox for my notebooks, and I did that, and it helped for a while, but I started creating new fears surrounding all of this. So I was afraid that they would go through my stuff and find the key to the lockbox, or if I was writing on my laptop, they would find a way to break into my cloud, or they would find they'd break my password somehow, or they would find a way to like break the encryptions on my flash drives. Or if I was doing like locked diary apps on my phone, I was afraid somehow they'd find a way, because I know if I'm dedicated enough, if I'm motivated enough, I can find a way to hack all of these things. I know you can too. It's very easy. So I was very worried about that fact, that I felt like my writing was never ever safe, no matter what I did. And I kind of stopped writing for a while, and I would go through these bursts where I would start writing a story. Like I really wanted to get a book going, and I would start writing the story, and then something would happen. I wouldn't write anymore for months or years or whatever, and I realized it's been a very long time since I had been writing. So I started writing my poems. I write poems, and I have like this big poetry book of compiled poems in chronological order from 2009 until now. So I had a lot of old poems from before I had my baby, and I hadn't written them in that notebook yet. So I just started doing that, like putting them in that notebook in chronological order, just to get myself writing again, just to like exercise that muscle, and just reading where I was in my brain in those poems at that time. Also kicked up more stuff, a lot of stuff that I hadn't healed. And to be completely honest with you guys, this shadow work series that I started with you genuinely scared the crap out of me. And I thought that because I had done these exercises however many years ago when I was in therapy, that I was fine and I could skate through this, and that it wasn't going to affect me, and I was going to be able to like lead you guys through it. But it just goes to show that shadow work is going to constantly keep coming up, because we are constantly, as humans, in survival mode. We get stuck in our routine. We keep going forward. Time in this dimension moves forward. That's what we do. And we keep covering up things with, new feelings and new experiences. And we forget to address the things that we have not, until the universe breaks it all down for you and kind of ruins your life and makes you deal with it, So that's where I'm at right now, where I realize like I do have to do these things I was trying to lead you guys to do. Like there's a reason I was led to want to talk to you guys about those things, and that's because I needed to do them. I need to heal through them myself as well. So I got a new notebook and I didn't know why. That's what I do every time I see a notebook. I love it. I have to have it. And I wanted to write in it, but the overwhelming fear kept coming back. Okay, and I could not write in it. I could not, and it was really hurting me. So I turned to my shadow work group, the one that I mentioned to you guys in the older shadow work videos. I did turn to them, and I genuinely asked them like, hey, this is the trauma that I went through when I was younger, didn't realize it was still affecting me. How do I push through it? And a lot of these women had such beautiful, amazing advice, and basically told me things like I need to heal myself. Inevitably telling me, without telling me, that it's inner child work. I need to tell myself it's okay. What they did was wrong at the time. They were doing what they thought was right at the time, but it wasn't right. It was an invasion of privacy. It really, affected me in a different way. And it's okay now as an adult to realize like I'm safe, and I'm safe to write, and my thoughts are valid, and my voice is valid, and the things that I say need to be said for me and for my healing. And I don't need to be afraid of, anyone going through my stuff anymore. And I realized that I was still thinking like a, wounded child because I live with my parents. So I'm back in that mindset. So not only, all of these things that just happened with my dad's family, and now, I realized because I live with my parents again because of my daughter, I'm putting myself back in that mindset of living with them when I was, in high school and in college, and they treat me like a 15-year-old, and I react like a 15-year-old, and just so many like doors have opened in my brain in the past like few weeks regarding all of this stuff. So I have been like really delving into it on TikTok, really talking a lot about inner child stuff, because as these things come to me, I kind of just throw a video out there, because TikTok can be a very welcoming place if you find the right group of people. So that's what I do, like just to kind of get it out if I don't have the energy to write. I've been trying to be a lot more forgiving with myself, and realizing that I need to write, but sometimes I don't have the energy to write, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to just spend time with my daughter and just lay there and watch TV with her, or just play her game with her or something, and not do things. And I've been doing this method that I learned from someone on TikTok. She said it's how she gets her daughter to do things, because little kids are very hard to convince to do chores and whatnot. So she said she has her daughter make a list of things she wants to do and a list of things she needs to do for the day and the week. I can't do this physically at all times, but I do kind of keep track of it in my head a little bit. But she said she tells her daughter for everything she does that she wants to do, she has to do a thing that she needs to do. So that might look something like playing a game for 30 minutes or an hour, and then having to like go clean your room or something. And that's helped me a whole lot, because when you start falling back into that like mindset of depression and anxiety, little tasks like brushing your teeth or taking a shower or eating get really daunting. And especially when you've got a child, because I noticed I was taking care of her needs and not mine. So that's kind of what I've been doing now, where every time I feed her, I eat also, even if it's just a little snack or something, because she eats often, and I realized I could go all day without eating and not even notice. So whenever she eats, I'll make sure to grab a snack or something. And then whenever I drink water, because I drink a lot of water and she doesn't, so whenever I drink water, I'll make sure to give her a drink of water. And just that's what I've been doing to kind of keep myself on track, get myself back into everyday mundane routine things that I don't want to do. Like when I brush my teeth, I'll brush her teeth. When I brush her teeth, I'll brush my teeth, things like that, because sometimes I'll remember to do hers and not mine, or vice versa. So just little things like that. I've been playing a lot more Pokemon to make myself do things, to go outside, to be task focused. So I have 3 accounts now. I know some of you guys know that, some of you guys don't. It's okay. It's not super important for everybody, just for me, because it's making me work towards something. Even if I don't get to clean my room or put the laundry away or something, I feel like I accomplished something if I caught a raid boss on one of my alts that I couldn't, or some stupid something little will make me feel like I did something. And I have been celebrating every little success. So when we got back from Disneyland and I was unpacking my bags, after every single bag I would go, yeah, 1 bag down, because my daughter gets really excited with me. She's like a little puppy. She has no idea why I'm excited, but she gets excited with me. So I'll go, yeah, and she'll go, yeah, so it helped me get hyped up about things. And I've noticed ever since that Disneyland trip, I have been communicating a lot better with her, and I've been listening a lot better to her communication. So instead of getting frustrated when she's whining or crying or something, I stop myself and I remind myself she's trying to communicate something. Like, she doesn't know what's going on with you. She doesn't know that you are upset about something. She doesn't know that you're having a bad day. All she knows is she needs something and she's trying to communicate it. So I need to be her mom and listen and give her love-ins and play with her and figure out what she's trying to communicate. And she has really skyrocketed, in the past couple of weeks. She's so much happier. Like, so much happier. And she says, happy baby, and it's the cutest thing, and it makes me so happy to see her so happy. So that's really been helping me so very much. And then also to see myself mothering her, in turn, makes me feel like I'm mothering myself, because she looks so much like me. She is a spitting image of me when I was her age, except she's blonde. But you know, me seeing me mother her, and you know, seeing my mom grandmother her, puts me out of body, and you know, shows me the mothering that not only that my mom did with me, but also the mothering that I did with myself when my mom wasn't there. And you know, the mothering that I had to do for myself, for my inner child, to get to where I am. And all of these things and all of these different perspectives have really strengthened me and really like put everything into new perspective. And I have gotten, you know, wildly motivated. It could also be because it's, you know, Cancer season going into Leo season. So you guys know I'm mostly Cancer in my chart. I am a Leo sun. I'm like half Cancer, half Leo in my chart. Everything's kind of Leo, Cancer, Leo, Cancer, Leo, Cancer in my chart. So, you know, I feel like I'm just really in my skin right now. I feel like I'm really in my zone, and it's really helping me a lot to just really connect. I've also been having like ridiculous amounts of psychic, just my psychic abilities have kind of gone through the roof. I do highly believe that the more you work on yourself, the more you work on your shadow work, the more like barriers you break down, and the more your psychic abilities open up. And that has been ringing true very much for me. But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying about my notebook. I just realized I kind of glossed over it a little bit. So if any of you guys had the same trauma that I had regarding your notebook and your parents going through it and stuff like that, what I did to kind of take back my power and start writing in the notebook again was I took that whole thread of what I said in the shadow work group. I took my post and all of the comments, and I wrote them in this notebook. And I kind of explained, you know, why I did it and how it made me feel at the time and all of those things. I did not print it out and cut it and put it in here. I wrote it to literally give myself the feeling of writing it. I also did, I'm not going to show you guys because you're not supposed to, but I did put protective sigils on both covers of my notebook. I put tons of protective sigils, I put protective runes, and I wrote protections around it in Theban. I don't know if it's Theban or Theban or, you know, the witches' language, the witches' alphabet. So I did a lot of protections on this notebook to make me feel a lot better about writing in it and leaving it out. So I don't hide this one in order to get me used to like seeing it, and seeing it makes me want to write in it. So I've been trying to write little things in it every day, even if it's just what I'm grateful for that day, something that happened to me that made me really excited and really happy that day, or something that really upset me that I can't get out of my head and I really need to tell somebody. I've been trying my best to just be as open with this notebook as I possibly can to really heal through it. And I kind of charged all of my sigils in this notebook with the intent of open honesty and communication. So when I write in it, it charges those sigils. So the more I write in it, the more I touch this notebook, the more it charges those sigils with that intent, and the more it reinforces the protection in it. So I just kind of made it like this recharging energy field for itself, where the more open I am with it, the more protected it becomes, and the more protected I feel that it is, the more open I will be with it. So that's why I had made the comment about like I was thinking like a hurt child, because I realized I need to stop thinking like a hurt 15-year-old, because I'm almost 30 and I have the tools to do this now, to do this in a way that makes me feel comfortable and empowered. So that's what I did. I took my knowledge of whatever I would do to protect anything else that I have, and I put that into this notebook and started again, and I wrote openly to it, and you know, gave it a name and everything, and you know, it's been working splendidly for me. And it made me start looking back at my shadow work notebook, the one that I had started with you guys in the series, I had printed out all of Bonnie's prompts and I wanted to write them into that notebook, and I never got around to doing it because all of the shadow work talk just kind of triggered me enough as it was that I never did it. So for those of you guys who reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm having trouble doing this shadow work series, like I can't do these journal prompts, I can't do, you know, these letters, I can't do any of this. It's okay, you guys, I didn't do it either. To be completely honest, I didn't do it either. And I did feel pressure to do it, and to do it immediately, and to get through it, and to rush through it, to walk you guys through it. But I know that I had said this in one of those first videos, that this is going to be a long series. It's going to be over the span of quite a few years, and it's never going away, because this is something that's not ever like going to be achieved. Like, this is a journey, and every single day it's a journey, it's a struggle every single day, and it's not ever going to get better. It's just going to get a little bit easier, or, you know, a little bit harder. It's the roller coaster of living past the age you thought you were going to live past, I guess. So I did want to just kind of reconnect with you guys, give you guys a little resource. That Complex PTSD book is helping me greatly. I haven't been forcing myself to stick to the chronological order of the pages. I've been kind of jumping around chapters, and that's helping me actually read it. As well as, you know, talking to my friend about the book, and their favorite parts of the book and things that have helped them a lot, and just having someone to check in with on a regular basis that actually like genuinely cares about my healing and my growth and my well-being has helped me more than I could ever express to anybody ever in the entire world. Because, you know, your parents and your siblings and your friends and your therapists, they only care so much, you know, and it's up to you at the end of the day to care the extra mile for yourself. It's really hard to care the extra mile for yourself when you feel like no one cares, because you've been pushing through this struggle for so many years. Okay, so I really feel like it's important to always be very brutally honest with you guys in these shadow work videos, because I'm going through it too. Like, I have crystals over here with me just to help me talk about this. So you know, I want you guys to know that it's okay. It's completely okay if you don't get anything done today and all you did was eat and hydrate and go outside to check the mail. Some days that's my whole day, and it's okay. Like, it's completely okay. It's completely okay to just spend all day on your phone if that's what you need. It's completely okay to shut off the entire world and just sleep if that's what you need. Please do not get lost in any coping mechanisms, though. That is the whole point here. We're trying to do this safely and healthy. I didn't put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. I apologize, but you guys do know that I put it in the description box, a trigger warning. I also put the number to a hotline down there for you guys to utilize if you feel like you ever need it, because it did help me a lot in my younger life, from high school, college, until a couple of years ago. Like, I did use it a couple of years ago, and it does help to have somebody there to listen to you when you feel like your whole world's falling apart and you just need someone to listen. Someone who doesn't feel like they need to fix you, or someone who doesn't have an agenda around saying something to you, you know, just somebody who's a complete subjective third party that has no interest in your healing or growth or whatever. They're just there to listen. So that helps. Okay, moving on. Let me get a quick drink of water really quick. I keep forgetting I have the ability to edit and mute the parts where I'm drinking water now, so I'm so used to like covering the microphone. But I just wanted to update you guys. For those of you guys who do not remember, I did say this on my channel a little while ago, but I know some of you guys are just joining us. Some of you guys are brand new. That happens all the time. Also, thank you for, you know, I'm over 800 subs. I'm over 7,000 views on my light seers video. Like, my numbers keep growing even when I'm not doing anything on the channel, and it is outstanding to me. So thank you so much, because when you don't keep doing things on TikTok, those numbers stop moving. But you know, anybody can come across a video on YouTube at any time, so it really helps. But back to what I was saying. The shop will keep moving steadily forward. For those of you guys who do not know, I am in the process of moving currently. I know you might notice the books have been taken down from here. Not much else has been moved from, you know, like the frame you're looking at right now, but we are in the process of moving in the next month or two. They haven't really told us a date yet, so we're kind of slowly packing, just waiting for them to tell us when we're gonna move. And then, you know, things might change if I can find a job and, you know, things like that. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to keep making videos. I'm not going to stop making videos. I'm just going to do them when I have the time and when I have the energy to do them, because yes, I have tons of series I would like to do. If I get new decks, you guys know I will always review those for you guys. I'm not going to stop doing that, but I'm not going to go out of my way to pressure myself to start a new series right now or anything crazy, because it's already crazy as it is with all the stuff going on with my dad's family, with all of my shadow work and trauma and everything that's been kicked up, and now moving and the pressure of finding a job. Like, I have enough things on my plate. So I'm just not gonna push myself any which way regarding videos. I want you guys to understand that my YouTube might not move for a little while, but you know, TikTok keeps going. So like I said, if you guys want to know what I'm up to, TikTok is the best place, but you don't have to. I know some of you don't really care. You're here for my reviews and whatnot. So also, the shop is going to keep moving. I do keep getting more materials for things for my shop. So if you guys do not know, I have an Etsy shop. It's called Sparrow Co. And I do, it had initially started with like cleansing kits and protective jewelry. And I'm actually, you know, I just started making tarot bags. I do plan to keep making tarot bags. But I am actually going to start wire wrapping crystals. So the past couple of days I spent carefully scouting crystals off of Etsy, and I found some really amazing suppliers with some really crazy incredible crystals, some really crazy incredible prices. So I did buy a whole lot of crystals. I did buy a bunch of, you know, wire wrapping stuff. So that is going to be my next project, and I will update you guys once I start getting a couple of those moving so that you guys can actually see them and see my process and all of that, because I'm very excited about it. So that's why I keep my shop going, even if, you know, I only have one sale here and one sale there. Every sale helps because it just makes me feel so much better that people are actually like supporting the things that I'm doing, and I keep doing things that make me happy to do and happy to create. So that's why, you know, I started making tarot bags, because I wasn't really intending on making jewelry to begin with. I have always wanted to wire wrap crystals. I did try it a while back when I was younger, but you know, I just had no reason to do it. And now I'm in a place where I can and I want to, and it makes me genuinely happy to be able to create art that is entwined with my spirituality and things like that. So it does make me feel a lot better. I've had a million ideas come up in the past couple of days just by looking through things, but I'm gonna start one project at a time. So right now it's just gonna be crystal wrapping, wire wrapping crystals, and you know, I have a lot of other projects sitting in my wish list, so as not to overwhelm myself with new products and not to overwhelm myself with listings for the shop as well. So I really hope that you guys are doing okay. I know I do miss being on YouTube. I do miss all of the interactions and everything, but I am really working through a lot of stuff. Like, there's no shame in me telling you guys, honestly, it's a lot. It's really hard, and it got to be too much. It did. It hit me real hard, and I am a workhorse type of person. I was bred to be that way, where if I'm not working, I have no value. So I'm doing a lot to push myself out of that mentality where I work to make myself happy. I work out of necessity, but I do not work for my value. That's not where my value comes from. My value comes from me and my love for myself and my self-worth, and it comes you know, the love that I have for other people and the love that other people have for me, and, you know, a million other things that don't have to do with money and status. So I hope that helped some of you guys today. I really hope those of you guys who have been like wondering about me, you know that I'm okay. Like, I'm always going to be okay. I've dealt with so much worse in my life, and I'm still here, and I'm still fighting, and I'm never gonna stop fighting, because I have the most magnificent little girl looking up to me every single day. So I can't stop for anything. Okay, so I want you guys to know, if you're having trouble with the shadow work stuff, if you guys did download the journal prompts or any of that and you're struggling with it, it's okay to put it down and not worry about it. It's okay to not do it. It's completely okay. It's also okay to alter them and do it in a way that works for you. So if writing those letters in that order doesn't work for you, writing them and doing a whole moon releasing ritual ceremony does work for you, do that instead. Either which way, it is just about introspection and healing. Remember, in shadow work, it is okay to be vulnerable with yourself. It is okay to cry. It is okay to feel those feelings, and it is okay to nurture yourself through that process. And just please do so safely. Please do so, you know, hopefully with the help of therapy. If you don't have therapy, just have resources. Okay, that's why I give you guys that hotline, because we need to be safe doing this. There is no reason you need to have any type of destructive vices or destructive fallbacks or you know, toxic addictions arise because you are trying to heal yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna say something also kind of triggering, but I don't know if I brought this up at one point in time, but I have gone through a lot with self-harm and self-medicating in my short young life, and I need you guys to understand, like, I know what that feels like, to be fighting that every single day of your life, especially when something happens that's too much and you're depressed and you're anxious. I'm very proud to say I have not hurt myself in over 2 years, I think, two and a half maybe, since right before my daughter was born. That was the last time that I hurt myself, was before I got pregnant. And you know, I got out of that situation, and it helped me substantially. Although I still deal with that situation, I still have to deal with that coming up constantly. Being away from it and being able to look at it now with a healing heart helps a whole lot. Okay, so there's one thing that I was taught in therapy, and it's, you know, it's always to try your best to do things to busy your hands, especially if you have anxiety or self-harm tendencies, to busy your hands. Do crafts, do little things, even if it's just doing mundane around the house chores. Things to busy your hands will help you a whole lot. And if you do slip up, like if you have pre-existing addictions that you have recently been rehabilitated from, and you slip up and you fall back into that addiction, please understand it's okay to have an accident. It's okay to have a slip up. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. That means that you're coping with it the way that you always have, and it's okay. And you just have to get through it that day and just get back to nurturing and loving and mothering yourself. And just know that, you know, once is an accident and twice is a habit. And if you need help, please get help. Please reach out. Please do not force yourself into shadow work if you do not feel safe doing so, especially if you know that you have destructive tendencies and you do not have resources to help you through it. Please do not rely on me to help you through these things, because I am a random person on the internet who has my own problems. Okay, so I do have to draw that boundary, because it has happened where someone came to me and really wanted me to carry their weight of their destructive tendencies, and I can't do that. I can't. I'm sorry. I have my own recovery process and my own healing and my own growth and my own family and, you know, my own things to watch out for, and I cannot as much as I want to be there for you, my friends, I cannot. I'm sorry, I can't. I have to draw that boundary. But I do love you guys so very much. I really appreciate all of you for sticking in there with me. I know this is a little rough patch in my channel right now, but I promise you guys know I'll get back into my groove of videos, you know, once I have moved, once I get set up, once I have the ability to do so, because it's not like I have any shortage of video ideas. I just have lack of time right now and lack of energy, but I will get there again, I promise, my friends. So I hope that wherever you are, when this video reaches you, you have a beautiful, wonderful day, my friends, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Namaste.